Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have supposedly broken their silence on the whole situation surrounding Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and her edited photo, which I already think has been blown way out of proportion by the media and is something that the princess should never have had to come out and apologise to us for. And if you don't know the context around this, essentially Kensington Palace released an official photograph of Catherine, the Princess of Wales, with her three children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, for Mother's Day, with the photo being taken earlier in the week by Prince William. However, it was later pulled down from media websites and was issued, quote, kill notices after it was revealed that there were a few irregularities within the image, and these sites called this manipulation, but I wouldn't go quite that far, it's pretty dramatic really. But basically it seems like Catherine had made a few tweaks to the photo, wanting it to be perfect apparently, according to some inside sources. She wanted it to be a perfect family photo before being sent out to such a massive audience whose eyes were all on her, and it seems that the palace press team just signed off on it without properly checking. And then of course this all exploded to quite a ridiculous degree really, and despite the picture being released to try and quell the rumours and speculation about Princess Catherine and her health complications, this only served to exacerbate the issue, with many people spreading theories online, for example wondering why the tree had leaves on it if it was taken in a kind of winter setting, why Catherine didn't seem to be wearing her wedding ring, and why the image was edited, despite the edits being pretty minor. I mean, they are just very small things like a misaligned line, blurring knees, or a misaligned sleeve with Princess Charlotte, things like that. And I mean, it's pretty clear as someone who regularly uses editing software that Catherine was experimenting with blur effects and trying to make the contrast lines between the background and the foreground, her and the children, a bit nicer, things like that. And then Catherine was essentially pressured by all of this nasty press into releasing a public apology soon afterwards. Indeed, in a statement on X, formerly Twitter, the princess said, quote, "Like many amateur photographers, I do occasionally experiment with editing. I wanted to express my apologies for any confusion the family photograph we shared yesterday caused. I hope everyone celebrating had a very happy Mother's Day," and she signed off with C for Catherine. And I made a whole video recently, a couple of days ago, going through the Catherine Mother's Day photo situation in a bit more detail and giving my own thoughts on how ridiculous it is, basically. So make sure to check that out if you are interested in seeing more about that story. But now, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have supposedly broken their silence on the ongoing situation with an official statement issued by a spokesperson for the Archerwell company, founded, owned and operated, of course, by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. According to US gossip site Page 6, and as always take this with a massive pinch of salt, of course it's a gossip site, but according to Page 6, quote, "Sources close to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have said this isn't a mistake that Meghan would ever make. She has a keen eye and freakish attention to detail." So already we have a pretty hostile statement that has supposedly come from someone close to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and that's just unsurprising really, isn't it? They just love taking advantage of anything to do with the royal family, anything to do with getting their name out there and attempting to retain their relevance. And I guess it's worked really because I'm talking about it on here, but it also just shows their personalities once again, doesn't it? So that was a statement by someone supposedly close to the couple, and there has now also been a short statement made by a spokesperson for the actual Archewell Foundation regarding this. So these are two separate things. There's the gossip site Page 6 reporting this kind of quote by someone supposedly close to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, and then the spokesperson for the Archewell Foundation is separate to that. And this spokesperson was speaking to Newsweek, and they said, quote, "With respect to Page 6, that did not come from us," which is very interesting. So the outlet has also noted that the Page 6 quote might have come from someone connected to the Sussexes expressing their personal opinion who was not officially authorised to speak on their behalf. Which is, again, very interesting, and it wouldn't surprise me if this was a sneaky way of the Harkles getting some digs in at the Princess of Wales, as they have done previously, whilst also avoiding all of the responsibility and accountability. Basically, it gives them plausible deniability, doesn't it? They can just say, oh, that wasn't us, it came from this unknown source, etc, etc, etc. And of course, it just comes from jealousy, really, doesn't it? We know that Meghan Markle has always been jealous of Catherine. She couldn't cope with all the royal rules, walking behind the higher ranking members, things like that, and generally she just could not cope with not being the centre of attention at all times. And bringing it back to the statement on page 6 about Meghan Markle never making such a mistake, the funny thing is, they already have in the past. Indeed, this came back in the spotlight, ironically, where the Duke and Duchess of Sussex had previously altered a picture that they shared to announce their second pregnancy, adding a rather much bigger change than Catherine ever did with her little tweaks with the most recent photo. But the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's tweaks added an entire tree into the background of their image, but of course they denied this vehemently. But it just makes me laugh that the absolute double standards of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are being exposed, and their fans as well are being exposed, who have been absolutely rabid recently, their fans, and actually quite nasty towards Catherine the Princess of Wales, but then they'll turn around and complain about Meghan Markle being criticised. I mean, it's just textbook hypocritical, isn't it? I mean, I've even seen people commenting on platforms like TikTok that Catherine deserves her health problem and this hate because it's somehow karma for the criticism levelled at Meghan Markle, not even by Catherine, but by members of the media and the British public, which a lot of is justifiable. I mean, a lot of the tabloid news puts a load of BS out there, as they do with everything, but a lot of the criticism against Meghan Markle is 100% justified. So, I mean, just make it make sense, guys. They contradict themselves in their own hateful comments, don't they? You can't make this stuff up. But anyway, yes, I just wanted to bring you this story about the new statement made by this Archewell spokesperson, and the more nasty comments really now have even been made by someone who is supposedly close to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, which conveniently allows them to absolve themselves of any responsibility, which is something we've seen quite a lot from the Harkles. I mean, you see all of these stories coming out. I mentioned the tabloids being pretty awful earlier, but you do see some kind of leaked stories from people behind the scenes from the Harkles, the Sussexes, and they kind of give these leaks that give us more of an idea into the behind the scenes of how they like to operate. So yes, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd be interested to see what everyone thinks about this story, and we've seen Prince Harry attending an event today, I think the 25th anniversary of the Diana Award, and he and Prince William are attending the event separately, and Prince Harry is kind of calling in over video call, so that was very interesting to see. They haven't been interacting at all, even though they're going to the same event, so that's interesting. So stay tuned for that. I'll make a video on that very soon. But yes, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. While you're there, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Make sure to join my Patreon if you want to support me continuing to make these videos. And as always, thank you very much for watching.